All right, here's my audience. Okay, so the Super Bowl is the most viewed sporting event in the United States every year, pulling over 110 million viewers, all for everyone to watch the two teams go to battle and fight for the chance to hoist the trophy into the air every year. And so at the end of the game, you see them hoist this trophy right here. This trophy is called the Lombardi Trophy. And it's actually named after Vince Lombardi. Now, who is Vince Lombardi? So in this speech, I'll be discussing who Vince Lombardi is. I'll read out his speech, what it takes to be number one, and then I'll give my analysis on that speech. So starting with who Vince Lombardi is, he was the coach of the Green Bay Packers in the 1960s. That's what he's best known for. And during that time, he was very successful, going on to win the first two Super Bowls. And so that's why they gave him the namesake of the Super Bowl trophy. And so now that we know who Vince Lombardi is, we'll go into his speech, what it takes to be number one. He actually delivered this speech through a book that he wrote. And the book was about how his father had kind of impacted him and the mindset that his father had instilled in him. So here we go. Winning is not a sometime thing. It's an all-time thing. You don't win once in a while. You don't do things right once in a while. You do them right all the time. Winning is a habit. Unfortunately, so is losing. There is no room for second place. There's only one place in my game, and that's first place. I have finished second twice in my time at Green Bay, and I don't ever want to finish second again. There is a second place bowl game, but it is a game for losers played by losers. It is and has always been an American zeal to be first in anything we do, and to win, and to win, and to win. Every time a football player goes to play his trade, he's got to play from the ground up, from the soles of his feet up to his head. Every inch of him has to play. Some guys play with their heads. That's okay. You've got to be smart to be number one in any business. But more importantly, you've got to play with your heart, with every fiber of your body. And if you're lucky enough to find a guy with a lot of head and a lot of heart, he's never going to come off the field second. Running a football team is no different than running any other kind of organization. An army, a political party, or business. The principles are the same. The object is to win, to beat the other guy. Maybe that sounds hard or cruel. I don't think it is. It is a reality of life that men are competitive, and the most competitive games draw the most competitive men. That's why they are there, to compete, to know the rules and objectives when they get in the game. The object is to win fairly, squarely, by the rules, but to win. And in truth, I've never known a man worth his salt who in the long run, deep down in his heart, didn't appreciate the grind, the discipline. There's something in good men that really yearns for discipline and the harsh reality of head-to-head combat. I don't say these things because I believe in the brute nature of man or that men must be brutalized to be combative. I believe in God and I believe in human decency, but I firmly believe that any man's finest hour, his greatest fulfillment to all he holds dear, is in that moment when he has to work his heart out in a good cause and he's exhausted on the field of battle, victorious. And that's the end of the speech. When I was looking through the options for the speeches, that speech specifically caught my attention because as a former athlete, I knew who Vince Lombardi was actually. And I thought his achievements as a coach were very cool. And so that one is why that caught my eye. And my favorite part about the speech is that it's not specifically for sports. So it's definitely written in like a sports context. However, you can definitely apply the teachings of this speech and what Lombardi has to say into other fields. And so my favorite line about that speech was the line, let me just reread it here. I've never known a man worth his salt who in the long run, deep down in his heart, didn't appreciate the grind, the discipline. And so why that was my favorite line is because I felt that it was quite relatable to me. As me personally, I've struggled sometimes with discipline and being able to do what I know I need to do. And so I thought that line was very impactful, and it really kind of inspired me to become more disciplined. And so I think that the big idea of this speech is that he's really urging people to succeed, not just in sports, and again, there is a sports focus, but in life as a whole. And so throughout this whole speech, I've discussed who Vince Lombardi is. I discussed his speech, what it takes to be number one, and then I gave my analysis on it. So what I have to say is that we all can have something to learn from this speech, not just the athletes in the crowd. I know that the large crowd. So my final statements are that I would like to thank you guys for listening to me talk. And I also want to save one thing for you guys to remember, to always stay disciplined and work hard. And that's all I have to say. Yay.